Okay. Machine on show. The G is Timoun. There's two Tims here.
Yeah, somehow I'm in twice.
I'm
trying to get rid of the one and I can't.
Okay. Well, maybe just quit and then come back in. Nobody else is here just now, so so it won't hold anything up. Okay. Oh, there you go. Well, can you hear me now? Are you there? One of you is still there, but you're muted. Oh, Bulloff. Well,
I think I'm back, and it's only one of me.
yeah. Well, I can hear you. I can't see you. There you are. Okay.
It echoed, so there's two of me,
Yeah.
and I don't need two of me.
Duplecha. Just Tim. Oh, here's Lisa. Hello, Lisa.
Hello.
Hey, evidently your email.
That's why I was a little bit late. I realized that without knowing, my iCloud storage was full, so I haven't received emails in like 6 days. So,
Oh no.
so if
no.
it bounced back to you, please resend it because I realize I don't have tonight's lesson.
Yeah. Well, it did bounce back
Okay.
actually a number of times because I was very persistent. I tried
Oh,
it.
well, thank you.
Yeah.
Please try one more time.
Okay. Okay. Well, I can do that right now. We're waiting. Okay.
And there was two of me, and they were echoing, so I had to go out and come back in.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're class 28. Okay. Okay, so I just sent it to you. Anyway,
Thank you.
but did you get it?
Now I did. It just
Okay.
came
All
through.
right. Okay. Well,
Thank you very much.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, morning tang.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we'll wait a couple more minutes, see if anybody shows up. Wel, Notaichean doen you some be? Anybody have any news?
I tried.
Tartan Day, Tim. Was that last Saturday?
It was Saturday. It we had half of the clans, but we did pretty well. But it's the parking because people you get 3 hours free. So we have a volunteer. She left after 3 hours.
Oh, really? The volunteers had to leave?
One of them because yeah,
Ah,
because she has to live outside the city, and so she only had 3 hours.
oh boy. Oh,
And
And
what's
we only
the
had like
fee?
4 clans come, but the people bought stuff. I made so generally Heather makes Scottish tablet. Well, she wasn't there, so I made it. One person tried it once. It came back by about the last 19. So that she
oh,
must have liked it.
Oh,
Here comes
oh.
Heather.
Well, there's
She's
Heather.
back from Tennessee.
Oh, oh, Erash. Hilu, you've returned. Huh?
I
So,
have.
yeah. Yeah. No, that's too bad about the parking. Now, how do they monitor if you've been there more than 3 hours?
I've never seen anybody, but at the zoo they have ace checking. So I don't know if they have going to have somebody going around with a license plate thing and seeing. I I've never seen anybody get a ticket, but I don't want to be the first one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So maybe just the way I think, but I'm already thinking about how do you game the system? Do you drive out and drive back in and park
You could
someplace
do
else?
that, yeah, after 3 hours, yeah.
Yeah, for another 3 hours.
But then you
how
have to
much?
find a parking space because someone could take your parking space while you were gone.
That's right. And if it's full, you know.
How much is it now? What are they
It could be
charging?
up to $10.
Oh, wow. No.
So I can park at the zoo, but it's a kind of long walk from the zoo to. But if I had to, I could do that.
Yeah. Oh, we should get a Segway.
Yeah, I probably fall down.
Yeah, 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 yeah. A little motorized scooter. Okay. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Now, if you pay the $10, can you stay more than 3 hours, or is that 3 hours?
Yes, it's a whole day.
Whole day for $10? Okay.
That's the bad, but yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's hard to use the meter. I mean, yeah, using the machine because they
Yeah.
have problems.
Of course, you could carpool.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you knew other people who were going, you could meet someplace else and then.
and each
Oh boy.
cottage has 5 parking passes, but you have to park certain spaces.
Oh boy. Yeah.
So it's not easy. And the city isn't really getting that much money.
No, no. Well, that's the thing. I mean, you know, things like that are very often self-defeating.
Because then it didn't work in LA. So how do they think they could make it when LA could?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh boy. Well, maybe I mean, unless the purpose is, and this is devious, maybe the purpose is to reduce the traffic flow. They don't want as many people going there.
Maybe. Never
Yeah.
know.
So they raise the price, and
Oh, yeah.
yeah, fewer people go. I don't know. Oh boy. Anyway, so
I think it's because they didn't get the tax increase that they
They're mad at us.
Yeah.
they're
But we
mad.
have high taxes
voters said
already.
no.
Our sales tax is very high anyway. Then when
Yeah.
they had more on it
Yeah. The voters said no, and they
for
said
once, and they got mad.
okay anyway.
Mm.
And the mayor can't buy a house; he rents, so he's mad.
The
And this is his
mayor's
last term. He's termed out, so he doesn't care what he does.
with the poor mayor.
Oh yeah, I can't.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. Anyway, so while I'm thinking about it, before we get started, you know that we'll break for summer in June, right? Okay, yeah, as we usually do.
Okay.
And but I'm thinking about opening up one day a week for conversation, kind of open-ended conversation, be guided conversation. Uh, no formal lessons, but but I'll try to keep it going with encouraging conversation. So, would anybody be interested in that?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, Gleba. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Good. Okay. And and of course it wouldn't be mandatory if you go
Mhm.
away, on vacation or something like that. I mean, but okay, okay. And what day would be good? Well, currently I have Tuesday and Wednesday, so I'm trying to figure out.
Wednesday's better for me.
Wednesday's better for you, Heather,
How about
Lisa?
everybody else?
Either one. Either
Either
one.
one for you. Okay, Lisa.
I think she went
Oh,
away.
No, I'm
I
here.
was in
I
twice.
couldn't find my mouse. It was
Oh, okay.
either one is
either
fine.
one. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, I'll let everyone know, but I've gotten some interest. So, and that'll be fun, and we get to practice our Gaelic, and I'll try to have conversation topics, and and we'll work on our conversational skills. Tim, put down Tim from Wednesday, and Heather, Lisa, uh, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, all right, very well. Okay.
So will we know the topic ahead of time? I was thinking I might look up some vocabulary prior so I could backload some knowledge before
Yeah,
I try and talk,
yeah, that's a good idea. I will send
Yeah.
out conversational topics.
and
Okay.
like
I
yeah,
mean,
vocabulary, like, oh, if you wanted to say plate, fork, spoon, stuff like that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and probably pretty simple conversation topics, but or maybe gradated, yeah, from simple to more complicated, so, anyway, so, so, all right, well, good, all right, well, that'll be fun, so we'll do that then, and, yeah, I'll plan for that, so, okay, all right, so, anyway, any other Nyack news? Questions?
Nothing interesting.
Nothing interesting. Okay.
No.
The House of Italy had a luncheon today, and I won a Italian cookbook.
You
You,
did.
And I generally don't win anything. I could have won this basket with had wine in it. I don't drink. I had to give the wine. It was a fancy basket. I'm not going to open and give the wine. So I let
okay.
someone else. I was the
Oh,
first one, so I could pick anything I wanted. I
oh,
never had
okay.
that happen.
All right. Well, you got the cookbook, right?
And that's more.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. That's nice. All righty. Okay. Well, let's see what we got now. All right. Okay. All right. Where are we? Okay, right here. Okay. Gael-Talk. Okay. Learning Gaelic. Brianna Ja plus Figetalk. Now make this a little bit bigger. Okay, and here we have Pipra, so Koninech Nakashka.
The Easter Bunny and the Piper.
Yeah, the Easter Bunny and the Piper. Yeah, Koninech Nakaska. Okay, all right, there we go. All right, okay. All right, okay. And our usual stuff. And Clàr na Sheachna, schedule of the week. Do the Shenachel. And tonight we're going to take a look at the assertive verb. And we'll learn what that is. It's the in Eacarsaichean and Sgeulachd na Sheachna, Baile na Leth-Amadan. Okay, the the village of fools. Okay, the village of half-wits. Leth-Amadan. and Òran. Yeah, and okay. All righty. Okay, so let's go Fàilte. Okay, so we've got a couple of things here for a short Fàilte. Okay, so one is a funny little piece from BBC, Colican Bingo. That's old women's bingo. All right. Okay. So let's try this.
Oh, in a garden. Oh, well, nach forsteno. La. Well, can you sit is kurumische phone? Leave ma oki tieri nas, tieri. Just too many meals. You must not spit of coyu. Oh, Haniele. Speedy. Enter Mattia. Daddy, maak je haar. Oh, mag graag voor, wat dingen nu? Oh, dan gaat je nou af, oh, de raarst. Daarom moet die, pas ik aan wat dingen nu. Daarom moet die. Oh, maar weet ik natuurlijk niet eens goed doen. Hallo? Nou, ga je waar is zitten Harry? Midden die man. Wel, dus je maakt haar aan en niet met je gevoel. Good job. Lieve, oké, bye.
So, all right. Okay. All right. And then we'll do. And then I have another short one. Now, this one's a little bit more serious. It's Scottish slavery. Now, one thing, well, and this refers to a time. Well, I'll do the link, then I'll pause it. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So this refers to a time in the 1600s, during which all over Britain there were these religious wars, Protestants against Catholics, and then people who supported the king versus people who wanted a parliament, who wanted more of a democracy. And Scotland, the people in Scotland were embroiled in this, and there was a Puritan. And the upshot of this was in the mid 1600s, you actually had a totally Puritan government of Britain for about 10 years, and which followed, the execution, the chopping off the head of Charles I, King Charles I, and such things as and the Puritans were so strict that they closed all the theaters because, of course, going to the theater was evil. Okay, and so this is something that I was never aware of, that Cromwell, who is excoriated amongst the Irish Gaels, especially. He went to Ireland and wreaked havoc, committed genocide there. But anyway, he evidently rounded up a bunch of Scots and sent them off as slaves to the Americas. So here we have a little bit of that. Oh, have to get the sound. Hold on.
Transaction. Our ancestors were sold, not as a metaphor, as a transaction. Dunbar, 1650. Cromwell crushed the Scottish army and then did something history never taught you. He chained the survivors, thousands of Scots, branded, loaded onto ships, sold to plantations in Virginia, Massachusetts, the West Indies. Some were 15 years old. They weren't soldiers anymore. They were property. They broke their bodies building a country that would never say their name. And England made sure you'd never find out, because if Scottish blood is in the foundations of America, this continent wasn't built on one people's bondage. It was built on ours. They deleted us from history. We're still here. Share this before it disappears again. Follow Scottish bloodline. Our ancestors.
Okay, so there we go. I'm going to stop the pause for a second. So now, of course, in remembering something like this, we don't diminish the sufferings of other people, but but it's useful. Now, one of the reasons that I keep on coming back to, like the proverb, the Shenachel, uh, Cúnich na crueltil dan dunya antanaku, remember the hardships of the people from whom you came, because I do think that if we're aware and sensitive, we remember, our suffering, our ancestors' suffering, and then and use that to extend our sympathies and our compassion towards others, others today who might be suffering similar fates, so there's a biblical injunction, remember once that you were slaves in Egypt, that urges us to remember our own suffering and then use that to have compassion for others. And I think that's very, very important. Of course, what happens so often is people use their suffering to just justify turning around and oppressing others. Well, this was done to me, so I'm going to do it to you, sort of, but that's that's the wrong lesson learned, okay, from that. So anyway, but that's just, but I came across that little video and it's just fascinating, because I never realized, Cromwell had done such a thing to the Scots.
I follow that bloodline, so I get a lot of those.
Oh, okay. Oh, do you?
They're
Okay.
really good.
Yeah.
And I saw that one. I said, oh, I remember that one.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, all right. So, Koyu, we'll continue. Oh, gotta do my share. Sometimes I forget to share. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Shanachon Shekana. Okay. Okay. So, Hachik Asafach Akan Kaol of Isincha. Hachik Asafach Akan Kaol of Isincha. Nothing comes out of the pot but the smoke that is in it. Okay, so figuratively, you get out of life what you put into it. Okay, so hachik asafach will not come out of the pot, hachik ach, but the smoke that is in it. Okay, all right, okay. And another way to phrase it would be the same idea. Hachik asafach ach ambir achurakinsha. Nothing comes out of the pot but the food that is put into it. Ambir achurakinsha. Okay, so, all right, so a couple language notes. Hachich will not come. Okay, the negative future of the verb hick. Okay, so the positive future will be hick, will come, and hachich would be the negative. Okay, and churik, it's the passive. Churik, is or was put. And insha, the prepositional pronoun in it. Okay, all right, so a couple language notes there. So hachich asafach achan keol of this insha. All right, there we go. Yeah, good proverb to remember. Okay, all right, okay. So the assertive verb, how to say one thing is another thing. Okay, is. Okay, so not the same as is in English, but coincidentally, okay, is. Okay, often referred to as the copula, that it combines, it connects. Okay, and this is a way to say that something is something else. Okay, so it's as the equation here, x equals y. Okay, so we're going to look at the main patterns that we get from the copula. Okay, and you should be able to recognize these patterns. Okay, and use them in the present and past tense. So first, the assertive verb is. How to say one thing is another thing. So this is what we use when we want to say thing one equals thing two. Okay, so we know that there's another verb that we've been using for is, for the verb to be. Okay, and that is ha in the present tense, va in the past tense, and be in the future tense. Okay, and these describe. You can say these describe adjective. These describe states. Ha me ski. Okay. Okay. Be me fatalak. I will be late. Okay. All right. So be describes. That's be. That's ha va. And be, and is identifies. So, so you use be when identifying a quality, a state, a location, action, or even a possession. Hatai akam, I have a house. Okay. When you're identifying or classifying something or someone, you use is. All right. So here's be. Okay. Ha a ski, he is tired. Han ku down, the dog is brown. Ha nien glich, the girl is smart. Van tai more, the house is large. And we use it for location. Bian dunia ekendoris, the man will be at the door. Bian kupa ervort, the cup will be on the table. Or we use it as a helping verb. Vamia snav ansvur, I was swimming in the sea. Vamia yevik an yor, I am reading the book. Or possession, ha tai akam, ha ben akam. All right. Okay. So is we use when we say one thing is another thing. So and if I've ever corrected you, for saying ha me teacher, ha shamus teacher, you know, that's well that was my at the time a shorthand for steering us in this direction, this lesson that we're going to learn tonight. We don't use ha to say. We say shamus on teacher, or is a shamus on teacher. The is, and I'll put this here, the is equals is. It's a contraction. Okay? Shamus on teacher. Shean tochelak antai osta. Okay, the building is the hotel. Shean tochelak antai osta. Is Misha Michael. I am Michael. Is. Okay. 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 And it's called the assertive verb. I can't tell you why exactly it's called the assertive verb. Okay. I mean, that doesn't tell us much about it. It doesn't quite make sense to me, but that's just what they call it. So anyway, so we have to go with that. Okay. I guess it asserts that one thing is another. So a rule of thumb, the sentence is describing, we use be. When it's identifying, we use is. Ha and ku down. The dog is brown. Ha. Okay. But she or is a on ku ampeta akam. Okay, the dog is my pet. So here we're saying, on ku equals ampeta. Okay, so we're saying that it equals that. Okay, all right, okay, all right. So and why this matters? Well, it just how we do it in Gaelic. Okay, so now I don't know Spanish, but I take it's Spanish and some other languages have a similar distinction. Okay, two different forms of the verb to be. Okay, all right. So and the present tense is or smisha, mari, shisha, Ellen. Sometimes, very often, you'll see it with apostrophe. Okay. Is essen on teacher. He is the teacher. Okay. And of course, you can use all the other pronouns with it. Okay. All right. So anyway, so now I'm going to get out of this this text here, and you can come back to this. But I have a PowerPoint. Okay. I have slides. Okay. So I'll work off the slides. See how that works for us. So the assertive verb is called a copula. Okay. So it combines. It connects two nouns. Okay. And sometimes a pronoun and a noun. Okay. So anyway, so two things. Okay. So the verb to be in Gaelic. Okay. So ha, chaniel, avel, nachel, and then is, anye, she, nache, chanye. Okay. All right. So Tudor description, a mode, something is like something else. Okay. Or an adjective. Okay. So, okay. So we have the two different forms. Okay. So how to say one thing is another thing. Thing one equals thing two. So what do we mean by saying one thing equals another thing? Okay. In essence, it's renaming, giving another name to a noun, a person, a place, or a thing. So when we say Seamus is a policeman, for instance, over here on the right side, and or kind of giving a Seamus a different name, the policeman Seamus, and so you can think of it that way, So I try to offer you a couple of different ways of looking at this, but we're saying one thing is another thing, So like we saw above, the dog is a pet. Okay, we're saying one thing is another thing. So he is a teacher. Seamus is a policeman. Dr. McKinnon is a great surgeon. Clifford is a big red dog. Okay. Paris is the city of lights. We're saying all of these we would use is, okay, the assertive verb. Okay, so in English we use the verb to be, and this is where we get a little confused. In a couple different, we use the verb to be for both these functions. John is tall, Clifford is big, okay, or John is a tall man. Clifford is a big dog, you see. So here the noun is equated with another noun, okay. So in English, we use the same to be verb for both uses, okay, but not in Gaelic. But it's necessary for you to understand that these are different, okay. These are different. Okay? They're two different functions. Okay, so this is where Gaelic makes a distinction. Right? Okay, so so we use the verb is and pronounce ISS, and the past tense would be boo, pronounced boo. Okay, and often these are contracted as apostrophe S and just puts an S in front of the word. So I could say Smisha, not Ismisha, but Smisha, or Sesson, okay, he, okay, or Boo, okay, depending on the place in the sentence. So, or just be, okay, be apostrophe, okay. All right. So, all right. Now this gets a little complicated in the way we form these sentences. Okay. So let me go through these, and then there's a key at the end. Okay. So sentences with an indefinite noun. This means the noun is preceded by an or an in English. Okay. He is a doctor. She is a lawyer. Seamus is a good man. Madri is a barrister. This structure used the a hound form. Now we use the a hound. Okay. She dochter a hound. Okay. Literally, we're saying it is a doctor that is in him. He is a doctor. She is a lawyer. She nach rugadh a hinsha. It is a lawyer that is in her. So note that these are, we don't have a the in this construction. So this is where you use the ahoun or a hinsha. Okay. And we use the prepositional pronouns, she teacher ahanam, I am a teacher. It is a teacher that is in me. Okay, so and very often in Gaelic, we resist actually, even in this form, we resist saying that something is something else. We say it is in him, in me, right? Ahanat, in you, ahaun, in him, ahinsha, in her, ahanin, in us, ahanif, in you, plural, ahaunta, in them. Okay, so if it's indefinite, then you'd probably use the ahoun form. Okay, examples. She teacher ahanam. I am a teacher. It's a teacher that is in me. She balach ahanat. You are a boy. Should be, it's a good boy that is in you. Okay, she balach ma ahanat. Okay, she dunya ahaun. He is a man. It is a big man that is in him. She dunya mor ahaun. She nian ahinsha. She is a girl. It is a girl that is in her. And actually, this should be she nian ahinsha. Okay, using e. Okay, she alapanich ahanen. We are Scots. It is Scots that is in us. She napian ahanaf. You are neighbors. She polis ahaunta. They are police officers. She opervor ahinsha. It is a great work that is in us. Okay. All right. So, and what if you use a noun or a name? You still use the ahoun, only the ahoun is the name of the person you're referring to. So, she doctor ahoun on Isabel. It is a doctor that is in Isabel. So the name takes the place of the prepositional pronoun. Okay. She teacher ahoun on Michael. Now, Michael is a teacher, is a teacher. It is a doctor that is in Isabel. She fair avata ahoun on Seamus. It is a boatman that is in Seamus. She sojourner ahoun on Patrick is Ian. Ahoun Patrick. It's soldiers that are in Patrick and Ian, and note the Patrick. We have the BFMP form here. Okay, so Patrick, Patrick is Ian. Okay, all right. So and she doctor a hounds on Dunishan, a hounds on Dunishan. Okay, so you use the ounce, okay, for the ounce on dunya, okay? Okay, aun antai, ounce antai. She doctor a hound a madre. So doctor that is Mary, and then again we have the M. Okay, following the bowl of fluffy mashed potatoes rule. Okay, all right, okay. And the past tense. Okay, for the past tense we use bu or ba. Okay. Okay. Be teacher avanam. I was a teacher. Be teacher. I was a teacher. Be dunya more avaun. He was a big man. It was a big man that was in him. Buluch turis of avanam. Okay. Okay. So here we use bu. Okay. So here the form lends itself to the abbreviation. Look doesn't. So we use boo, all right? Okay. And questions and negatives. Anye fair no look ahanam. Is it a mouse? Is it a man or a mouse that is in me? Anye fair no luch ahanam. Am I a man or a mouse? She achter a hound. Anye achter a hound. Sorry. A question. Anye. So note with the question, anye, okay, we drop the explicit is. So we don't seem to have a verb here. It's implied, anye. Anye dochter a hound amari, okay? Is Mary a doctor, okay? Okay. Or chanye luchahanam. It is not a mouse that is in me. I am not a mouse. Chanye luch. So there we drop the is as well. All right. Chanye achter a hound. Uh, it is not an actor that is in him. He's not an actor. All right. Okay. 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 All right. So let's go. Number 2, sentences with a personal pronoun and a definite noun. Okay. Names are definite. Okay. With a personal pronoun and a definite noun. Okay. It's Misha Ian. So note when you have a construction like this, you don't have the a hound because the name is a definite. It's a definite noun. It's the equivalent of an. Okay. It's Misha Madri. Smisha Madri. Okay. Or with the definite noun over here on the right, it's Iet Nagaskik. They are the heroes. It's Iet Nagaskik. Nagaskik. Not it's Iet Nagaskik a hound or a hounta, but it's Iet Nagaskik. It's Misha Ampolis. I am the policeman. Okay. Right. Okay. Or there's a Beatles saying, it's Misha on Chekmari. A Chekmara. I am the walrus. I am the walrus. It's Misha on Chekmara. She echmara ahanam. I am a walrus. Say echmara ahanam. Okay. I am a walrus versus this Misha on Chekmara. On Chekmara. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All these can use the contraction, Smisha Ian, Smisha Madri. Sometimes you say something like Stusa Ailey, right here. Is Sietzen, Sheem, as Marcus, okay? Okay. And the difference between the definite with the and the indefinite without the. Okay. Shegaske Kahaunta. It is heroes that is in them. Isiet Nagaskik. They are the heroes, the heroes. She look Sahanam. It's tourists that are in us. Sheena Nalukturas. We are the tourists. Okay. And again, with the past tense, you have boo. Okay, you use boo. Be it Nagaskik, they were the heroes. Bessenham Fair Post, he was the postman, and so on and so forth. Okay. All right. Okay. And then boo Lanites. Okay, some words. Buvisha, I was. Lanites Misha, but it's Butusa. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So let me pause for a moment. Okay. All right. Any questions? What do you think?
Is there a future tense for is?
Yeah, boo. Yeah.
No, that's the past, right?
Yeah. The past and the future.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I know that's a little confusing, but in some ways it makes it easier. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So it's I would be a thing would be another thing is boo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally, it might translate as that, but it'll be understood as will be. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
So if let's say you were in police academy
Uh-huh.
or somebody was in the police academy and you want to say he's going to be a policeman, you would use boo?
Yeah. 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 But you probably use the B apostrophe, be.
Okay.
Be policeman, a hound. Okay. He would be or he will be.
How would you know the difference if he was a policeman or is going to be when he graduates? Like, how do you tell the difference?
Context. Yeah, yeah. I hate to say that, but it's context. Okay, yeah, yeah. So, I mean, from the drift of the conversation.
Oh, and you scrolled away so fast, I was trying to write it down. You said boo Lenites, sometimes boo unlenites. Can you explain the unlenation?
Okay,
Like
yeah.
THU turning into
Yeah,
USA?
yeah. Butusa. Okay, and that's a special case.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, yeah. So that's a special case,
But
with ooh, yeah,
there's a
Butu.
thing called unlenation. Is
No,
there? No.
no. I just made the word up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But especially with two. Now two does that in other forms. Ambeic two, a dole. Now would
Mhm.
you go? Ambeic two. Now, uh, be u a dole. You will go. Okay. Ambeic two a dole. Okay, would you go? I'm being two. So two has that changeability in a couple different forms. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So now the real takeaway for this, and I'm going to go back to the slides, and of course the slides are available to you in the handout that I sent out. But uh uh but the real takeaway is you use the hound form only with the indefinite,
Oh.
only with, uh, you know, he is a policeman, she
Mhm.
Polish a hound, okay, not she Polish a hound, not he is the policeman. I mean, you wouldn't use it only when you have a the in that construction, you do not use the hound form. Okay, so that's the key. So that uncomplicates everything. Then you just use the straight verb. Okay, it's Essen on teacher. He is the teacher, not he is Essen on teacher a hound. You would not say that. Okay. Okay, so it's only when there is no the that you use the ahoun. Okay, and and the and we see this in something for identity. And I'm going to go back to the screen and just make a little side note. Okay, so we see this. I'm going to go down to the notes. Okay, all right. Got a lot of exercises, but anyway, so uh, um, we see this use of the in something uh, in phrases like nud va mi namvalech, okay, or ha e nafolish, okay. Now here, this seems to contradict
Yeah.
what I was saying. I'm trying to get the
He is the police.
yeah, the. We're using the to identify. But but you note that right here in my nam would be in my, okay,
Boy.
na would be in his, okay, he is in his policeman when I was in my boy, you see. So here, so this is a kind of a parallel usage of the um uh parallel uses of the in uh, to identify.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. So, and here we can actually use the verb to be or be, okay, ha, va, and so on and so forth, um, uh, with identification, seemingly in contradiction to what I said above. But you're not really saying, you're not saying vami balach. You're saying, I was in my boy. Got that? Okay. I was in my boy. He is in his policeman. So here, again, in essence, we're kind of saying that somebody is in something. And so we know, like ha, a anantai.
Mm-hmm.
He is in the house. So grammatically, this usage is something like this. Okay, something like this. Okay, we're locating it in something. Somebody is in something. So we're not saying that he is a policeman or he was a boy or I was a boy, but we're saying I was in my boy or he is in his policeman. So so I just bring that up because uh, yeah, so that might help it make a little bit of sense when we say something like um, "She teacher a hound." It is a teacher that is in him. Okay, that's that same kind of identification. That's something is. It's not that something is something else. It's that something is in something else. Okay. What? Okay. So I don't know if that helps or if that makes it more confusing. So anyway, all right. Okay. All right. Okay. So where are we? Okay. So we got to the walrus. Okay. Okay. And again, the questions. Misha, Ian, am I John? And so you know what the questions. Ani madri, is she Mary? Okay. Hani madri, she is not Mary. Hani an dochter, he is not the doctor. Chaniet nagaskech, they are not the heroes. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Uh, so an would be a question. Is, it would be the positive. Chan would be the negative. And nach would be a negative question or an exclamation. Nachshina nagaskich. Aren't we the heroes? And that can either be an exclamation or a negative question. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So, uh, okay. So sentence with both parts, definite nouns. Okay. So, Ian and Ben are the students. Mary is the teacher. The minister is the thief. Okay. And, uh, and remember there, the pronoun, adjusts to match the noun. So right here. So say for instance, Ashe a minister a merlech. Okay, the minister is the thief, but she madri on teacher. So here we have the pronoun shifting. So we shift from she to she. Is it Ian August Ben Naholinich. Okay. Ian and Ben are the students. So is it. Okay. Now sometimes you'll see people use she, the a, as just kind of a generic it. And that's okay. I mean, it's not totally grammatical, but it's kind of what people do. It's kind of spoken Gaelic. It's colloquial. Okay, but you can shift the pronoun to match whatever the noun is. All right. Okay. And again, the boo. Be a minister a merlich. Be it Ian August Ben Holinich. Be madri on teacher. Okay, you have the be. All right. Okay. Okay. And again, questions and negatives. Anye, an iet, an I, chanye, Ian, an dochter, so on and so forth. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So I'm going to get out of that for a minute. Okay. So how you doing with that? Okay. 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 Okay.
A lot.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, it is, and we'll come back to it. Okay, yeah, and yeah, we'll probably extend the lesson next week, and not so much lecture, but we'll actually practice it. I have a, and we'll do a couple minutes of exercises tonight, and then next week we'll come back and we'll do more, and we'll learn it further. But again, uh, now I hate to say this, but I'm giving you something that it took me years to get. The the and namely, I was always confused about whether you use the hound, okay, form. And then the light dawned on me, and that you only use the hound if there's no the, okay? And for me, that was the light shining through. Otherwise, you can just use is or boo. Okay. Uh, is Seamus on teacher. Okay. Seamus is the teacher. Okay. Is Madri on Luchluga. Okay. On Nechluga. Mary is the lawyer, Nechluga. Okay. So, but on Madri would be definite, and on Luchluga, the lawyer. Okay. Is Madri we'd say she Nechluga on Mari. Okay, so or is Isha Luchluga. Okay, she is a lawyer. Okay, a hound, or a hincha for her. Okay, so when you have a the, you don't need the hound form, and only when you have a the in there do you need it. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple of these exercises. Okay, okay, okay. Uh, so uh, right here, just identify whether we'd use be, and that's ha, va, or be, the future, or is. Okay, so just the root verb. He is tired. Which would you use?
Ha.
Yeah, yeah, ha,
Hi ski.
yeah, or be. Okay,
Yeah.
she is a teacher. Which would you use? Be or if?
Say
Hey, yeah,
teacher hincha.
yeah. She teacher or hincho. Yeah, you use is. Madre is the doctor. Which would you use? Be or is?
Is.
I think V.
Oh.
Guess again. You'd use is.
It's.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're saying thing one is thing two. Now, not that Mary is a thing, but it's one noun is another noun. Okay. And so then you use is. Okay. And I'm not even asking you to construct a sentence. Okay. But just identify what verb we would use, be or is. And the is the form that we've been looking at. And very often it's again it's is like that. Okay. Uh and be, of course, would be the, ha.
We can't see the screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, geez.
Yeah, you're
Sorry.
not there. Yeah, we just see you.
We're
Oh,
just
I'm
going
sorry.
on.
So that's why I'm having
visual, and
problems.
we're struggling. We're
Well,
visual learners.
Glad you said. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, so anyway, so
Okay, maybe we'll do better now.
yeah, it would be better now rather than flying blind. Okay, so we want to decide whether we'd use something like the, ha, or be, okay,
Mhm.
or is,
Is.
or boo, okay.
Mhm.
All right. So anyway, so and you got these right. He is tired would use be.
Be.
She is a teacher. We use is. Marty is the doctor. Thing one is thing two. We'd use is. So the dog is brown. What would we use?
That's a B.
Yeah, that would be B. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Ha, or B. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I am Seamus. Which would we use?
Is.
Is.
Yeah, very good. We are in town.
Be.
Yeah.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. Yeah. We're in some place. I mean, it's a location. Okay. We're not the town. We're not saying, we're the town. I am the town, or
Never know.
who who was it? The French king who said, I am France or something like he said something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, but they are students.
Is.
Yeah. And he is at the door.
Be, I would think.
Yeah, yeah, exactly right. B. Ha e ekandoros. Yeah, gleva. Yeah, right. So, and then right here, definite or indefinite. Okay, so he is a teacher. Is that definite or indefinite?
Indefinite.
Indefinite. Yeah. Okay, indef. Okay. Madre is the teacher.
Definite.
Definitely.
Yes. Uh-huh. I am Michael.
That's
Definite.
Definite. Yeah. Okay.
Better.
Yeah. Just the way I said it.
What's your name?
She is a lawyer.
Indefinite.
Indefinite.
Yeah. Seamus is the doctor.
Indefinite.
Definite.
Definite. The
Okay.
doctor.
No, okay.
Yeah. Okay. They are the students.
Definite.
Definite then.
Definite. Yeah. Okay.
Because you got the.
Yeah. The. Yeah. So that's what you look for. Okay. Whether there's a the or an and remember that a proper name is definite. Okay. So okay, so here we want to fill in the missing words. Maybe we'll do one more bank of the in-class exercises. So she teacher uh
On.
a hound. Yeah.
Yep.
Hound. Yeah. Or I suppose it could be a hinsha if it's a woman teacher. Okay. Is something, what pronoun would go in there?
Nisa?
Misha?
Oh yeah, could be Misha.
I am.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Oh, she is.
Mari. She is,
Oh.
but it could be Misha. Yeah, Misha Mari. Yeah, perfectly all right. Either or. Seamus
On.
teacher. Yeah. Okay. So kind of sets us up for the for the definite. Okay. So here we have Mary is not the doctor. So
Honey.
Hanyi, Marian doctor. And here we have, is there a teacher in him? So that would be on
A.
Yeah. The Ian August Ben.
Students. Nah.
Yeah, very good. Now holding it. Yeah. Okay. They are the students. It is something like is they Ian and Ben the students. Okay. It is they, Ian and Ben, who are the students. Okay. All right. Gleva. All right. Okay. Gleva. Okay. So now I'm going to come back next week. So take a look at this this coming week. Okay. Try to try to ground it, and we will come back next week. And rather than go on to something new, we're going to revisit this, and hopefully, well, I hate to put it this way, but I'm going to rub your noses in it. I'm going to rub your noses in it until you get it, until you learn your lesson. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So now I have something a little bit different. And what this is okay. I'm playing around with visualizing or making little videos out of Highland Tales, and these come from the Popular Tales of the West Highlands, um, collected by Campbell, and this was in the mid 1600s. No, sorry, mid 1800s. I was thinking 1860. Okay, I knew there was a six in there someplace, but anyway, uh, um, and what Campbell did was, and this was at a time when people all over Europe were interested in folk literature, folk culture. And this was about the same time, a little bit after the time that the Grimm's brothers went out into the German countryside and collected fairy tales from, for lack of a better word, from the peasants. Well, Campbell did something similar in Scotland, and people are doing this in other countries as well. Uh, and his was very organized. He had a whole squad of people who would go out into the Highlands, and they chased down a story. Ian over in the next village has a wonderful story. You should go talk to him, get him to tell you his story. And these people would go out and they would write the story down because the people they were talking to didn't know how to read or write Gaelic. I mean, they're fluent in the language, but Gaelic was not so much a written language at the time. Um, and they would go out and they collect the story and then they bring it back to Campbell. And he eventually put together these 4 volumes and actually 5 or 6 Popular Tales of the West Highlands. And then there's another volume, More Popular Tales of the West Highlands. So anyway, and I don't have enough to do. So I uh, I thought, well, what if I visualize these, make little YouTube videos out of them, and and put them on YouTube. Okay? And eventually, what I'm going to do now that I'm going to show these to you, I'm going to show you 2 of them. And they're both in English, and eventually I'll do them in pairs. So I'll do one in English and one in Gaelic. So I'll have both, and I'll put them up on YouTube. But right now, I'm kind of wondering about the style, the visual style. So what I want you to do is, get the story. It's a funny little story from the Popular Tales of the West Highlands, but they're in 2 different visual styles. So the depictions, the illustrations are slightly different. And so I'm just trying to get a feel for which you prefer. I mean, visually, I think in terms of the language, in terms of the narration, which is in English, they're both identical, but the visual style is different. But anyway, without talking anymore, without any more ado, I'll show these. Okay, so we have one that's more of a cartoon version. Okay, I just have to copy it. Okay. Oh, have I shared my screen yet? No.
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 Well, glad I thought to do that before I went on. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay.
There was once a young man who traveled to Sgeulachd to seek a wife. He married a farmer and soon settled into a small stone cottage alongside his new bride, her mother, and her father. One day, the 4 of them went out to the moor to cut peat. While they worked, they sent the young wife back to the cottage to prepare the food. When she walked into the house, she saw an old broken ladder hanging above her. She began to cry.
Oh, by the way, the name of this is Leth-Amadan, Village of Half-Wits. It's a comic tale about foolish people. So anyway, if that kind of helps.
She thought that if the ladder fell on her, it might kill her, and she stood there weeping at the possibility. When she did not return, her mother went to look for her. Finding her daughter in tears, the mother heard why she was crying and began to weep as well. After a while, the father came in, and he did the same. That night, the young man came home tired and hungry. He found the 3 of them crying together and pointed out that the ladder had not actually fallen at all. After they had eaten, he told them he would not stop traveling until he found 3 others who were more foolish than they were. He set out on the road and came to a house where 3 women were spinning. They told him that the people of that place were so foolish they would believe anything. The young man held up a ring and said he would give it to the woman who best deceived a man. When the first man came home, his wife told him he was ill. He went to bed. Then she told him he was dead, and he lay there without moving. When the second man came home, his wife told him that he was not himself at all. He believed her and went out into the wood, uncertain of who he was. When the third man came home, he went to bed. The next morning, he saw the coffin of the first man being carried past the window and jumped up to find his clothes. His wife told him he was already wearing his clothes. He believed her and ran out after the coffin. When the bearers saw a man running after them, they fled and left the coffin behind. The second man emerged from the wood, and then the man in the coffin spoke. Everyone ran away in fright. The wife won the ring, and the young man noted that these three were as foolish as the three he had left at home. Farther along the road, he saw a boat with 12 men in it. They were distressed because, whenever they counted their number, they thought one man was missing. Not one of them was counting himself. The young man told them he would find the missing man. He made them sit in a row and touched each one lightly with a stick, telling them to remember they were there. They were ashamed. Further on, he found people draining a loch to get fish. They found nothing but a single great eel. Thinking it was a monster, they seized it to carry it to the sea. He watched as they hauled the eel away. He had now seen groups of men and entire villages act with the same confusion he had found at home. On the road, he saw 4 people trying to put a cow onto the roof of a house. They wanted it to eat the grass that was growing there. He told them it would be easier to bring the grass down, and he brought the grass to the cow. At last, he saw people blaming a horse. They were punishing the horse for the state of their cart. However, the cow was sitting in the cart the whole time. To the young man, this was as foolish as anything he had seen on his entire journey. He realized that the people of Sgeulachd were very foolish, but they were also very funny. He decided to end his travels and returned home to his family. He arrived back at the cottage, no longer thinking of the broken ladder, but carrying a great story to tell.
Okay. All right. Okay. So now I've got the same story in a slightly different visual style. Okay, so let's see what we got here, okay?
A young man traveled to the district of Sgeulachd to find a wife. He married a farmer's daughter and settled into a small stone croft house, sharing the home with her and her parents. On the day of the peat harvest, all 4 of them went out to the moor. They worked the earth together until the family sent the young wife back early to prepare their food. When she stepped inside the cottage, she looked up and noticed an old, broken ladder hanging above her. She began to cry, terrified by the thought that the ladder might fall and kill her. When she did not return to the moor, her mother went looking for her. Finding her daughter in tears and hearing the reason why, the mother began to weep as well. Soon after, the father entered the house, saw them both, and joined in their despair. That night, the young husband came home tired and hungry. He found his 3 in-laws weeping beneath the ceiling. He pointed out that the ladder had not moved at all. After eating his meal, he announced he would not rest until he found 3 people even more foolish than his own family. Leaving the cottage behind, he set off down the road, determined to measure just how far human gullibility could stretch. His journey brought him to a house where 3 women sat spinning wool. They told him that the people of this area were so gullible they would believe absolutely anything. The young man produced a ring. He offered it as a prize to whichever woman could execute the most convincing deception on man. When the first husband returned home, his wife told him he was sick and sent him to bed. Once he lay down, she told him he was dead. Believing her, the man remained perfectly still. The second husband arrived, only for his wife to insist that he was not himself. Convinced by her words, the man wandered out into the forest, entirely uncertain of his own identity. The third husband went to sleep, and the following morning, a coffin was carried past his window. His wife told him that the dead man outside was already wearing his clothes. The young man watched these fictions take hold instantly, seeing how easily a few words could overwrite reality. Desperate to retrieve his garments, the third husband leaped from his bed and sprinted out the door in pursuit of the passing coffin. The pallbearers looked back to see a man racing toward them. Panicking, they dropped the coffin on the road and fled. At that exact moment, the second husband emerged from the tree line, still bewildered. From inside the abandoned coffin, the dead first husband suddenly spoke up. Hearing a voice from the wooden box, everyone scattered in terror. In the aftermath of the chaos, the clever wife collected the young man's ring. The young man saw that the outside world was, in fact, exactly as absurd as his own household. He continued on his way and soon reached the shore, where he found 12 men sitting in a boat. The group was in distress. They had been counting themselves, but the man tallying the group repeatedly forgot to include himself. As a result, they were convinced one of their crew was missing. The young man offered to find the missing person. He arranged the men in a row and tapped each one lightly with a small stick, telling them to remember that they were also present. The fishermen were embarrassed, but relieved to be whole again. Further along his journey, he watched a group of villagers laboring to drain an entire loch to catch fish. Their efforts yielded only a single large eel, which they mistook for a sea monster and dragged away toward the ocean. Down the road, 4 people were struggling to push a live cow up onto the thatched roof of a house so it could eat the grass growing there. The young man stopped, pulled the grass down from the roof himself, and handed it to the cow. Finally, he came across villagers actively punishing a tired draft horse. Meanwhile, a cow sat comfortably inside the cart attached to the horse, causing the actual problem. The people of Sgeulachd were foolish, but they were also harmless and highly entertaining. Having found exactly what he sought, the young man turned back toward his own cottage, carrying a great story home.
Okay. All righty. Okay. Okay, so what do you think? Any preference?
I think I like the first one.
First one?
I think just because that the illustrations seem to be a little more of the same. There seem to be a
Okay,
little,
coherent, a little more
yeah,
coherent.
coherent. Yeah.
Okay.
The second one looks older people.
Okay,
Everything was older.
okay, older people for the second one. Okay, so
Hmm.
yeah, so Tim, you prefer this first one too?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And then Heather, you said you liked the first one better as well?
I was leaning towards the second one, but sometimes they kind of looked impressionistic and frilly, and then sometimes they were more cartoony.
Oh, okay. Okay. So more variation, not as consistent in the same.
I like the people not as tubby and cutesy.
Oh, in the second one.
Yeah, the second one they were more proportioned.
Oh, okay.
I did like that.
Yeah, I
Oh,
agree
But
with you,
there was a
Heather.
lot of like it would like the men in the boat changed. Their look changed. I don't know.
right.
Wait.
Yeah. Yeah. Wasn't quite as consistent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I like the second one, I think.
Okay. All right. Great. Okay. All right. Well, still a work in progress. Maybe I'll have to. And what that was is kind of an experiment. So it's yeah, I was trying to find a uh, a way to do it that wouldn't be so time consuming. You know, I wouldn't have to handcraft each image, and so I ran these through
AI.
yeah, an AI software that did it all at one time, but it's pretty uneven. So, like you noticed, and both of them were uneven. I mean, whether the cartoony one or the yeah or the other one. So anyway, all right, okay. Well, thank you. So still working on it, but okay. But I think that'll be a nice little project and nice for people to see and watch. I mean, the West Highland Tales, and there's a lot of them. So yes. Anyway, all right, okay, okay. So let's take a look at a song. Okay. All right. Got to remember to share. Okay, so Is truagh nach druchach me nach druchach dall me. Okay. Is a pity I wasn't born blind. Okay. So this was written by William Ross. William Ross. Okay. About a woman that he fell in love with, and unfortunately, um, uh, 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 well, he fell in love with her, but she married somebody else. Okay, so anyway, but and and as you see, he died rather young. Okay, what would that be? That'd be about 29 years old. He was about 29 years old when he died. Okay, so anyway, but he wrote this song. Okay, so it goes, and of course we have all the vocables. So Chanai mi kato save chagrai skun ureirum. Hanai mi
Fine.
agrai iskunurerum, without you being reconciled with me. Okay. Uh, without you being, we could read that as being betrothed to me, along with the raycheck. Okay. Okay. Is truagh nach druchach dall me. Is truagh
Nach
druchach.
It's down me.
The pity I was not born blind. Gun heinches gun leersan.
Gun Heinz to Eacarsaichean.
Without language or knowledge. Mus eich me doi vanji.
Mas factin hoi bonji.
Before I saw your face, your womanly face, brain owlish nan caton.
Rin Heinz non Caden.
Okay, that brought misfortune to hundreds. Yeah, that made misfortune for hundreds. Von hunnig me vohus,
Won hu mi vohust.
ubechluchek de wezen,
Who be husken to vasen.
since I saw you from the beginning, vohus, ubechluchek de wezen. Your virtues were renowned, famous, kluchek. Iskambasen loom ambas.
To go vasen luma bas.
Ambas would be easier for me the death. The vi lacher astevus.
No be locker is was.
Than to exist without your presence. Okay, out of your presence. Okay. Is truagh nach ro mish.
It's trono rakmis.
Agus tus far an iron.
Agus hus for Eden.
Is a pity that that I am not where I would want. Okay, an iron. Okay, Shia nala shaken.
Shia nala shaken.
Is shak och bliana.
Shach no biana.
6 days a week for 7 or 8 years. Shia nala shaken shak och bliana. On Shorach and Glastja.
On Shorn Glasta.
Lay Clyan and Òran.
A klein ear.
In a room locked, Glastja, with iron bolts, Clyan and bolts, like nails. Okay. Now, Huchrikin are cow.
Now, Huchrikin are call.
The keys lost. August Dalvi gun eerie.
I stand vegan Leary.
Okay, and a blind man searching for them. So here he's describing how he feels. Okay, and a room locked away for 7 or 8 years, and a blind man looking for the keys. Is truagh nach mi fhacal.
It's true nach mi fhacal.
On two show rochianol.
An fiú dro rahia.
It's a pity I am not leaving this world so sad. Vadochas fuin,
Vadochas
Nas
fuin.
fiúin.
gum howlich,
Gumhalig.
Jane Ghoul,
Bengu.
Rain Mohieval.
Rain mahia.
It was a vain hope, a foolish hope that attracted me. Gum howlich, that attracted me. Is on Ghoul Rain Mohieval. And the love that made my misfortune, Mohieval. Gefatavum ahulu.
Gefatavum.
However far from me, ahulik too, okay, that you would travel. Rimbio vien rugilis.
Rimbio bien.
Bio rugilis. In all my life.
No Jesus.
In my life. Rimbio. Vien I would be to you faithful. Is no hikik la nakrunya.
In the Hikislan Hakunya.
And when would come the day of judgment, the judgment day, Allah Nakrunya, literally the day of the earth. Okay, the Shimoros Agiran.
Jimus Rosa here.
Here, and it's Marion Ross. I would here it's translated. I would look for that. I would want. Okay. Okay. So Nur Hikikla Nakrunya. Anyway, so very sad song about a young man who did not was not able to marry the girl that he loved. Okay, so anyway, so um, let's try this. And so I have a
truagh nach mi fhacal an seoróchianal Vadochas fun gam hawag Sgeulachd rein moieval Gefada ma hulik turing viovin rut giles Nur a hige wana krynje shemoros a yirin. Filioro, 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 Gaelic. Filioro, 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 Gaelic. Heralilio, hagisoro, Gaelic. Lai mi cadal savach grais gunureru.
okay. So that's a very nice rendition, I think. But I've got another one. Of course, that's a short one. This is a little bit more extensive. So let's try this one now.
Figlioro, 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 Gela. Figlioro, 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 Gela. Fhaile la hoages oro gela chanai mi katosa.
No, we don't have visible lyrics. Let me see what I can do here. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me get the. All right. Oh. Okay. We don't need the screen that big. Make that smaller. Okay, so we'll back up a little bit and then we'll.
Oro gela chanai mi kato savach egrais gunurerum. Truagh nach rugadh dall mi gon chainches gon leirsen Mosach mi dai vainji Rheinailes nan kiatan Bon chunek mi vavusu Bochlio jack do vesan Scumbas aliam embas Na vi laver as digvish Figlioro,
So here we'll back up here.
figlioro, hugela, figlioro, 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 hugela, fhaile la hoagus, oro, hugela, chanai mi kato savach, egrais gunurerum. Truagh nach Rome, shages dus barin jaren, Siagan Seachdaine, Jacob liana, en Shomarichan Glasja, Lion an jarin, nach uwchrichen hawl, agus dal vi gan jari. Figlioro, 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 ugela. Figlioro, 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 ugela. Fhaile la hoagus, oro ugela. Chanai mi kato savach, egrais gunurerum. Truagh nach Romi fhacal en tu, Sgeulachd, badoch ysgwyn gamhalach, gen Rhain mwyafal, get fata fwam y hiwlagdw, dim fiafin yw gilas, nor hi gaglan y crwynia, si mwro siarin, figlioro, 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 ugela, figlioro, 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 ugela, fhaile la hoagus, oro ugela, chanai mi kato savach, egrais gunurerum.
Okay, there we go. Okay. So let's unshare. How do I do that? Stop share. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay. It's truagh nach rugadh dall me. It's a pity I was not born blind, so I would not be blinded by your beauty and fall in love with you. Okay. All right. Anyway, so that's it for tonight. Okay. And as I said, take a look at the lesson. We will come back to the same lesson next week, and you know, and work on this form a little bit more. Okay. Yeah.
I know my family just came in. I had to mute real fast.
Okay. All righty. Okay. So, any questions? Any questions before we go? No? Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I come out. Top
Bye,
of the
goodbye.
Cheery.
theory.
Wait.